We've officially made it to Scotland, and today we're exploring Edinburgh for the very first time. From Harry Potter magic in historic streets to creating a one-of-a-kind Scottish souvenir. We've got an incredible first day ahead of us. Let's go and explore.
Is that the one we have? So we went to Oink and got pulled pork. This is the Oink, which is the medium sandwich, with barbecue sauce and then sage and onion stuffing. And we got applesauce on the side.
Where did you get this from?
As far as Harry Potter.
I just did it.
So here is Princess Street, inspiration for Diagon Alley in the Harry Potter
I call this
books.
diagonal. I call this diagonal.
So this,
Harry? Who's Harry? I have one book, but I haven't read
Well, across the street is the National Library of Scotland.
City like the.
This is the Central Library.
Here's some. The cinnamon brand.
Yeah.
Like that one, I seem to have. Some of them look more like it's the size. Some of them are not. Like that just looks like the right size.
There's Hermione's bag.
Oh yeah. There's cherry, there's cake.
Yeah.
This was all they had.
Yeah. Most of these things are small.
Yeah, we'll open it.
That's way too many.
And like all good British rail journeys, this one broke down in the middle of nowhere. And it broke down outside of a field that was filled with cows. And there were 3 cows that were right next to the edge of the railway, level with her window on the train. She says, in her own words, that it was these 3 cows, huddled together for warmth in the cold January weather, that gave her the idea to write a story about 3 friends going through wizarding school together. Bit of a leap. Bit of a jump. So if she hadn't said it herself, we wouldn't necessarily believe it. But she said, who knows where the greatest moments of inspiration come from. She said it struck her like a bolt of lightning, pun intended, I believe. And she spent the rest of that train journey furiously scribbling on napkins the kind of ideas of what this wonderful wizarding world would eventually flesh out to be. She knew from the beginning that she would have 3 protagonists, that there would be 7 books, 1 for every year of education. She sort of had the beginning, middle, and end of the saga planned out before she started writing. The next 2 years, in fact, 91 to 93, she spends planning the series, so coming up with the ideas and concepts that she would include in a wizarding school were she to write the books. These 2 years, 91 to 93, she spends living in Porto, in Portugal, as an English language teacher, teaching Portuguese students English as a second language. While she's in Portugal, she also falls in love with a local Portuguese journalist. They get married and they have her first daughter, Jessica, together. Now, this marriage comes to an end in 1993, and she needs to move back to the UK with baby Jessica in tow. 1993 is when she moves to Edinburgh for the very first time. Now, bless you. Now, not many people will think that J.K. Rowling grew up in Edinburgh. Everyone thinks that she lived here, she's always lived here. She actually grew up right at the other end of the UK, on the border between England and South Wales, in a beautiful part of the country known as the Wye Valley. Specifically, she grew up in an area called the Forest of Dean. Now, I don't know if anyone remembers the Forest of Dean from the books, yes? Do you remember where it features?
In the 7th book.
Very well done indeed. 10 points to... What's your head? Hufflepuff. Fantastic.
Well, I'll take the Hufflepuff, yeah.
Like I said, this is going to be a competitive group. I can see. But yeah, the Forest of Dean is where the kids are hiding out when they're looking for the Horcruxes in the 7th book. It was somewhere that Hermione had been on holiday with her family, but she does this quite regularly. She takes place names from her childhood and she uses them as names in the series. So quite often Quidditch teams, for example, are named after little villages near where she grew up. And when they came to shoot the scenes for that 7th film, they actually went back to the original Forest of Dean where she grew up, and they shot on location in her childhood home, which is a nice sort of full circle moment for her. So yes, folks, here we have the dedication plaque to not 1, but 2 Thomas Riddles. So we have Thomas Riddle Sr. and Thomas Riddle Jr. Now, we actually like to think this is the grandfather and the father of Tom Riddle from the books. You remember the first time we meet Tom? Just like Harry, he's an orphan, isn't he? Yeah. Tom Riddle Sr. died in 1806, aged 72, but Tom Riddle Jr. died in 1802, aged just 26. So we like to think they continued passing down the name Tom through the generations, and this could be the grandfather and the father of Tom Riddle from the books. Now, obviously, the Riddles were a real family here in Edinburgh. As far as we know, they were not dark wizards. They were very wealthy merchants here in the city. They actually have their own street just off the has the original museum context.
What's a spectropatron? Oh, it's
That's
the thing
the
that
light.
they use the
Yes.
gas.
See,
Spectropatron.
okay, you don't have to do it that much.
What? There was a couple in them.
This is like a little garden area. It says Free Church of Scotland. So we got the beef braised with cheddar mac and cheese. We're at McCar's Mash. We're trying Scotch eggs. That's the first time we're trying it. Then these are lion manes with the aioli sauce. Then we got an extra side of mash with just their classic sort of dairy. And definitely trying to pretend like he's asleep with his apple juice. Apple juice made him drunk, sleepy drunk. And then I got this Bon Accord, which is a lemonade from Scotland. And then Chris got an Oolong kombucha. Definitely wants to drink some lemonade with me filming him. Now I gotta take my lemonade drink before my son drinks it all, as he has his own apple juice. No, I don't want to trade.
Just for a little.
Oh, there's a cathedral. Yep. No, it's something in Scotland.
What a first day in Scotland. From discovering the magic of Edinburgh to creating something we'll always remember, this city has already given us some incredible memories. There's still so much Scotland ahead, so subscribe and come along. Every destination has a story. Thanks for being part of ours. We'll see you in the next adventure.